continues next week. I can't believe what we have witnessed.
Pressure coming off the edge and right up the middle, and Falk's in trouble. Trying to get away from Derek McCartney, and he cannot. And McCartney finally takes him down.
Hi again, everybody. Welcome to the Buffalo Stampede television show. I'm voice of the Buffs, Mark Johnson, along with Coach Gary Barnett. Buffaloes fall to 4-4 in the season on a rain-soaked night in Pullman, Washington. They get blanked for the first time since 2012. 28-0 the final score. 15th rated Washington State over the Buffaloes. That was some tough sledding on Saturday in Pullman.
That was not a pretty sight, Mark. That was disappointing on a lot of different levels. You know, I think if you're looking for something positive to come out of there, and you got to do that, I think at times our defense played with more spirit, more emotion than I think they have for the last couple of weeks. And offensively, they just couldn't get any help. And, you know, in these kind of environments, you play like that, and you're out on the field as many plays as they are, and they can't get any help from their offense. It gets frustrating as a team. You got to be a really mature team to overcome this kind of a situation.
Yeah, the defensive front, led by Hercules Montaafa, by the way, had, in fact, tied for the national lead in tackles for a loss. That unit was too much for the Buffs up front, wasn't it?
No question. We got exposed up front, and they were much more aggressive. They were an attacking defense, and our guys play against a defense that's a read and react defense, and it's a completely different thing. And it looked almost like we got caught off guard. And I'm sure if you don't see that kind of speed in practice, and we don't because we don't have those kind of players, but we don't have that kind of defense either, then it's really hard to make the adjustment on the run in the middle of the game.
Buffaloes had under 200 yards of offense in this one, only about 80 yards rushing or so. In fact, Philip Lindsay ended up with 29 carries for 98 yards, but he was pulled out of the ball game while the reserves kind of played down the stretch in this one. Quarterback situation. Mike McIntyre makes a change at halftime. Buffs only had 21 passing yards in the first half. Sam Neuer came in, and I thought the redshirt freshman kind of represented himself pretty well.
Yeah, I think so. You know, he got rid of the ball. He had a couple bad snaps that he had to react to, and I thought he did a good job with that. But a tough element, tough situation to come into, but I think he played well enough to present somewhat of a controversy going into this week.
Yeah, Mike McIntyre, in fact, on a radio post-game, when I asked him, I said, what do you look at that moving forward? He said, without question, Stephen wasn't getting it done. They'll look at Sam Neuer for that game next week. In fact, we'll talk more about that homecoming matchup with Cal after a quick break here. We caught up before the ball game with a guy that's very important in Colorado football. That's strength coach Drew Wilson.
Returners, we are up. Returners, gunners, we are hot. That's what that means. QB's wide receivers, 10.5. Well, he's junior. His older brother's at home tonight. Yeah, his older brother's littler than him, but somehow he's his older brother. You got to stretch. Yeah, they're stretching. So you'll stretch at 47. Yep. About 2 minutes till you leave, returners. 2 minutes. Let's go, Wiggly, get your stuff. 1 minute. 1 minute. Start lining up by the door. Visca, let's go. Hagen, whenever you're ready. You want it down all the way or no? I'm glad you're growing up. I like to see that. 3.5. What? I have no idea. It was my turn to watch you today. Whenever you're ready, go. So broke looking, don't even know what your name is. He's probably watching the game. He'll be yelling at the TV soon. Yelling at you. You make the wrong read. Hey, trick, kick, skip, say go! 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 You guys fill in next time. Face our sideline! Honey karaoke! Let's go, get loose! Go! Go! Same drill, coming back! Say go! 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 One hand! Just your hand! Bring it up on fire, let's go! Hey!
Hey, buddy!
Hey, how you been?
Good, man, you?
Great.
Good to see you.
Good to see you too.
Okay, no jacket.
I'm going to put it on after this.
Okay.
I wanted to test it out, see how bad it was. It's pretty bad. How you been? I'm going back in, put my jacket on and everything. I'm going to put my boots on. I thought maybe you're staying out here till the game started.
As we continue here from Pullman, Washington on the Buffalo Stampede, Buffalo's fall 28-0, get blank for the first time since a 48-0 loss to Stanford at Folsom Field back in 2012. We continue with Gary Barnett. All right, what do you do as a head coach when you come off a ball game like this? Nothing went right. What do you do with your team? What do you say to a team like this?
You know what? You question everything. Yeah. They're at the point in the season where no one's job should be safe, and guys either got to get with it or they're going to get left behind. And I think you challenge them as a coach because there's 4 games left, all of which they might win, all of which they might lose. And, it's that point in the season where I think things got to get pretty tough.
Yeah, you looked at teams you thought might be down this season. Here, Cal has surprised a lot of people. They did get beat on Saturday 45-44, went for 2, played the ball game, got beat by Arizona. But all of a sudden, Cal looks like they're a pretty good football team.
Cal, they've been the most surprising team to me all year. When I saw they beat North Carolina in the opening game, I've sort of kept my eye on them. We saw what they did to Washington State, who just ripped us. Yep. And they ripped Washington State. So that's a good football team. We saw what happened to us in Arizona, and they almost beat Arizona. So they're going to come in here, come into Boulder upset. And you know what? They look at us like we're a W. We look at them like we're a W. Well, you know what? We're going to have to play. Somebody's going to have to go play to win that game. And right now, the Buffs are really challenged to find out who they are.
That game next week, by the way, homecoming, also the celebration of 50 years of Ralphie and the retirement of Rashaan Salam's number 19 jersey as well at Folsom Field. As we wrap things up with Gary Barnett and Mark Johnson, coming up next in the Stampede, a big win for Colorado volleyball over USC as we continue.
Colorado's first ever win over USC. 3-0, and with an exclamation mark from Alexis Smith to finish out the match.
They had lost the last 14 matchups in a row.
It was a bigger deal for our team because I felt like we went into that match and executed what our coaches wanted us to execute, and we played at a very high level the whole match. And it was just kind of like an indicator of what our team can achieve when we're all on the same page. It was amazing. It was just amazing. I'm just so proud of our team and the way we came out that day. A win is always great to win because I feel like our team is in a position where we can honestly beat any team in the Pac-12 this year.
That's Nageti Abu from the CU volleyball team on the doorstep of a milestone, 400 career blocks. In fact, this young woman is on the verge of a record of her own, in fact. Anna Pfefferly joining us during the speed rally era. She's tied the all-time blocks record as the Buffs are coming off a big win over USC. In fact, the first time ever the Buffaloes have beat the Trojans in volleyball and a very close loss to UCLA. But how about that little individual honor here? I told you that before we went on. You didn't even know it.
I know. I mean, like I've said before, I couldn't do it without my teammates. So it's great to hear, but it's really about the people around me on the court.
But what is that? I mean, that's kind of special, though, when you hear something like that, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's always good to have your hard work pay off and to get some recognition for it, I guess. It's good to know that other people see it, too.
Can you believe you're a senior already?
I really can't. It's flown by, and I really only have a few more months left. So.
Yeah, just around the corner. Came here from Northfield, Minnesota, now in Buffalo, and one of the greats of the Buffs the last few years here. So a big win against USC. Now, Buffaloes had never knocked off USC in volleyball, which is kind of stunning to me when you think about it. But take us back and tell us about the match.
It was a great match. I think it's one of the most consistent we've played all season, which was really great. And I think in past years, especially versus USC, for some reason, we just haven't played to our potential, and I think that contributes to why we haven't beat them. But playing really well on our home court in front of a really big home crowd, supporting breast cancer awareness, it was a really good game, and I think everyone felt really pumped up about it.
Well, it was kind of fun, too. You mentioned the breast cancer awareness game, and the crowd was really electric out there. How much do you feel that when you're on the court?
Oh, it totally contributes. Yeah. I mean, even when we play away and they have a big home crowd, you can feel the energy. And while then they might not be cheering for you, when you're at home and everyone's cheering for you and they're really into the game, it definitely makes those highs last longer, I think.
Yeah. This season, how would you characterize what the Buffs have done so far?
I think that we played our preseason games really well, really consistently, and especially more consistently than we have in past years. We came out of preseason with a really good record going into Pac-12 play, and the Pac-12 this year is really tough. Every team is a really tough competitor. We have a ton of top 25 talent that we play against almost every night or every weekend. So we have a lot of great opportunities, and I think we've capitalized on a lot of them, and there's some that we're looking to get back in the second round of Pac-12.
My guess is one of those would probably UCLA. Two top 25 teams, in fact, over the weekend were up on UCLA. Let that one get away, didn't you?
Yeah, that was tough. I think that there was definitely a few things that we learned from that match that we can change and take into this weekend playing Oregon and Oregon State.
All right, what can you tell us about the Ducks and the Beavers this weekend?
They're both really great teams. Oregon is always good every year, and Oregon State has gotten better every single year that we've been in the Pac-12 with them. They beat some really good teams this past or 2 weekends ago. They beat Washington and Washington State, and so I think playing them both on their home courts will definitely be harder than when we played them here, but we're looking to go 4-0 against the Oregon team.
All right, well, good luck this weekend, and you'll have the record all to yourself here shortly. Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, that's Anna Pfefferly. She and the volleyball team on the road against the Oregon schools this weekend. As we continue here in the Stampede, we come back, we're talking basketball. Tad Boyle from the men's team joins us next.
Elevates and slams with the right hand. Oh, the tomahawk jam by George King. And he left Stewart laying smoldering behind.
Welcome back to the Buffalo Stampede, transitioning from football talk to basketball talk. Head coach Tad Boyle joining us as the Buffs are just about 2.5 weeks or so away from getting their season underway. That's pretty quick, isn't it? You ready with all the newness in this team?
It's right around the corner. I like early September when I can go to football games and not stress out. Now I'm a little bit more on edge when we're watching the Buffs on the gridiron. But we're excited. Yeah. We're excited.
How's camp been so far?
It's been really good. We've got a lot of youthful energy on this team. New faces. Guys are coming every day, getting better. They're competing. I really like the energy level in the gym.
What have you learned about this group that you didn't know, maybe?
Well, what I've learned is we've got a lot of room to cover in a very short period of time. Again, with those new faces, I mean, we have to get the basics down. We're still trying to build habits from our trip to Italy this summer. So we can't, the train is leaving the station every single day. It goes a little bit further, and we've got to be ready to go November 10th, very short period of time. This is going to be a team that's going to be a work in progress. We're not going to be in midseason form November 10th by any stretch.
That Italy trip, though, you think that gave you a springboard forward, though, didn't it?
Absolutely, it did. And it gave us an indication of who can compete, who can kind of figure things out on the fly. And that's the thing. Everybody asks me about who's going to start on this team, and I really don't know that. The key is who's going to finish games with this team, because we're going to be in some close ones, I think, with our non-conference schedule. And again, all the new faces. We got to figure that out quick.
Don't you think, as well, with all the newness in this team, it might be a different cast of characters game in and game out?
Oh, I'm telling you, the fans are going to really watch this team. They're going to see this team grow before their eyes throughout the season. I mean, because we got some new guys that are really talented, and you're going to see some ugliness maybe in November, but it's hopefully going to get a little prettier as the year goes on.
Well, the Buffaloes last week had Media Day at the Coors Event Center. We got a chance to sit down and talk with some of the players.
Well, in the beginning of the season, me and you talked before you guys went to Italy, and you talked to me a little bit about how you guys were still trying to gel. You guys were still getting to know each other. How have you seen that improve?
It's improved a lot, in a tremendous way, actually. Me as a point guard, I know everybody wants the ball now. I know everybody's comfortable with it. I think we've been playing pretty well together. As far as practices, Coach mixed up the teams a lot, and we scrimmage against each other. So I think we're gelling pretty well.
Well, Coach has been talking about wanting to get up and down, and that even though it's a new team, we're not going to slow down the pace at all. We're still getting up and down and having that fast tempo. So do you feel that?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I feel it. I mean, it definitely, like, we did a drill today called the 12-second drill, and it's you're getting up and down. There's no breaks, no stops, nothing. You're going, and you definitely can tell after a while. You're like, man, I'm getting kind of tired, and you just have to fight through that. And I think once our team's able to fight through that consistently, we're going to be a really fast-paced, moving team, and it's going to help us.
And we continue with head coach Tad Boyle. Buffalo's getting ready for that. Well, they've got a open scrimmage to the public on the 28th and then an exhibition game on the 30th. And then it's jumping into the regular season with a game to start things off against Northern Colorado. The times I've come to practice here and watched a little bit, I know you always want to rely upon your seniors. I see a look in George King's eye. What have you seen in terms of his demeanor, how he's approaching things?
Well, George, look, this is his last year. He knows it, and he's focused. Nobody loves the game and has worked on their game and their craft as much as George King has. He's in the gym every single day. He's after practice shooting. He's really shooting the ball well right now. He's a senior now. He needs to play like a senior. He's got to have that level of consistency day in and day out, and game in and game out.
I know what the answer to this question is going to be, but I'm going to ask it anyway here. Is this team where you want it defensively?
No, we're not even close to where we are, but we're getting better. We really are. And you know, it's funny, Mark, right now we're doing a lot of drill work, and we're, again, building habits. And the key is to be able to take those drills and take those habits and have them carry over to when you go 5-on-5. You know, we don't get a huddle up between plays. This is a very fast-moving game. Hopefully the whistle's not blowing a lot, and we can get some transition going, and we can get some flow going. And you have to play through mistakes, and that's really what these young guys have to figure out.
But when you look at the raw material, it's a capable, good defensive team.
Absolutely. You know, we've got good length, good athleticism, good quickness. Guys have good hands. So yeah, this is going to be a good. We've got the capability of being a really good defensive team. It's nice to have a 7-footer. Dallas Walton has done a really good job protecting the rim. Have a rim protector there in the middle. We haven't had that for a while. So, yeah, we've got the capability of being really, really good down that end.
Well, looking forward to it. It'll be here before you know it.
It will be.
Yeah. That's head coach Tad Boyle. He and the Buffaloes got that open practice, by the way, open scrimmage, if you will, the 28th of October. It's the first time you get a chance to see the Buffaloes in the upcoming season. We'll take a time out here in the Buffalo Stampede. We'll continue with the basketball conversation, but we'll be joined by women's coach J.R. Payne when we come back.
McGuire, ball tipped through and stolen away. Robinson's got it, top of the key, crosses inside, tough shot, and will scoop and score.
Hi, and welcome back to the Buffalo Stampede. Yeah, we're talking basketball. Believe it or not, whether she wants to hear it or not, her team's about 3 weeks away from opening up the season. J.R. Payne joining us from the CU women's team. That seems very short to you, doesn't it?
Yeah, for a coach, 3 weeks is very scary at this point. We need more practice. No, but things are going well, and we're excited to get to play soon.
Well, just like we just talked to Tad, you've got all kinds of newness as well. You almost need a roster when you go to practice.
We do. Yeah, we wore name tags the first week of practice. No, we didn't. I'm kidding. But we could have. So we have a lot of new players. We have 8 new players, 5 freshmen, and 3 junior college transfers.
Well, I guess the good news is, and in college basketball, guard play is so important. You've got wonderful guards coming back.
We do, and that's clearly the strength of our returning play and the strength of our team this year is our backcourt.
Well, and those two can kind of lead. And so do you build a team around them in terms of how you approach it on the court?
Well, we've really added a lot of depth inside this year. So our focus was getting bigger, longer, more versatile, more athletic, knowing that you have one of the best point guards in the country and one of the best 2 guards in the country.
Yeah. Kennedy Leonard, how has she gotten better, do you think?
She's good. She really has improved in every way. You know, she's changed her body. Last year, she played a lot of minutes, and it was a long season. She ended up on the floor a lot. You know, she shot a lot of free throws, but we talked about getting stronger, more durable, and being able to stay on her feet. She's gotten significantly stronger.
Have you talked to her about that? I mean, she has to stay healthy, right? I mean,
has to. Yeah, knock on wood. Everybody knock on wood right now. She does have to stay on her feet. We talked about it all last year. It got better last year, but she really, I think, watched a lot of film and understands the importance of it.
The one thing I love about both Kennedy and Lexi, there's a toughness about both of them, isn't there?
There is, yeah. I mean, they're gritty kids. They love the game of basketball. They want to be in the game. They never want to come out. So they're going to play tough.
Now, tell us about some of the newcomers. I mean, you got 8 newcomers out there.
There's so many. I could choose so many to talk about. A lot of people want to know about Jamie Curtis, our 6'6" player, junior college player, and she's done great. She adds a different dimension to our ball club, you know, with that type of size and mobility. We have another great junior college transfer in Janae Bunn, who's a great, versatile, very athletic post player who's going to be a great rebounding force for us. We have a couple great freshman guards that are really long, 6'3", 6'1", and we're going to be pretty versatile this year.
Well, the Buffaloes about 3 weeks away from that first game right now. You know, on Wednesday early this week was Basketball Media Day here at the Coors Event Center. Time to hear from some of the players on JR's team. Talk about your off-season a little bit. What did you do to get ready for a new campaign?
This off-season, I just kind of got in the gym a lot, so just being able to shoot a ton of shots and then being around all the new players. Obviously, we have 8 new players, which is kind of weird. You look to your right and your left and you're like, oh, it's somebody new. But being able to kind of be around them and try to, you know, mentor them. You know, they've never been on a basketball court here at Colorado, so to be able to try to help them and be who they can look to, I think is bigger than basketball.
JR said that they added a lot more athleticism and a lot more length, especially on the wings that year. Have you noticed that so far?
Definitely. We've added a lot more athleticism. We have 4 girls that can jump up and hang on the rim. So we're extremely athletic and extremely long, and that's really going to work to our advantage.
You think this team was, I think, -2, -3, maybe rebounding a year ago? Has that been an emphasis here in camp, being a better rebounding team?
Definitely. Rebounding is a huge thing for us. It's really big. Coach Jay and Coach T are really big on that because it's all about toughness. Going to get a board and go up there and banging with the biggest of the biggest, or maybe the fastest. You know, it's all about toughness.
We continue with head coach J.R. Payne, CU women's team, about 3 weeks out from the first camp. A little personality on this team, isn't there?
Oh, yeah, man. I keep telling everybody, just come to practice. Meet these girls, meet these young ladies on our team. It's a great, fun group.
You look at what you guys did last year, 17 wins, went to the Sweet 16 of the WNIT. Where do you want to see this team better and improve upon? What aspect that going into the new campaign?
Well, as a ball club overall, I want to see more balance. You know, we were led entirely by our backcourt last year. All of our scoring, everything came from the backcourt. I want to see more balance, being able to score inside, rebound inside, and then overall just a higher level of toughness. You know, our teams, we always want to be blue-collar, gritty, tough, outwork our opponent, those kind of things, and we need to work to become that.
With some of the size you talked about before we heard from the players, I think you were -2, -3, maybe rebounding a year ago. That's an emphasis?
Absolutely, yeah. You know, the way that we want to play offensively in transition, we can't do that unless we rebound the ball defensively. And then just from, again, a toughness standpoint, we've got to be able to dominate the glass.
I'd have to think as well. Your turnover numbers were down last year, 13, 14 a game. That has to be a result of having good guards, like we talked about previously.
Yeah.
But also, everyone else has got to take care of the basketball. Have you seen this, that characteristic?
Yeah, it's a positive trend, for our program. We have very smart, experienced backcourt guards that handle the ball a lot, so it's going to be pretty good there. With 8 new players, it may be a little bit higher, but it's something that we focus on fundamentally to be able to take care of the basketball.
Whether you like it or not, it's 3 weeks away. Get ready.
We're ready. We will be ready. That's for sure.
Going to be fun. J.R. Payne of the CU women again, 3 weeks away from opening up the campaign. Well, the Colorado football team back home this weekend for homecoming with the Cal Bears coming to town. And don't forget as well, also the retirement of Rashaan Salam's jersey, the only Heisman Trophy winner in CU history. Our radio broadcast on the Colorado Football Network gets underway at 10 a.m. with the Buffalo Stampede, the kickoff between the Buffs and the Bears at 12 noon. I'm voice of the Buffs, Mark Johnson. As we wrap up the Buffalo Stampede, we'll talk to you next time.